attention on the mid-air collision that killed 7 Marines as we learned the identity of one of the victims. Plus, a deadly end to an LA chase as officers opened fire on an armed carjacking suspect at a gas station with an innocent man just feet away. Then the local serial robber known as the Insistent Bandit strikes again. And for the first time, we hear from a family who was in a major wreck, why they call the rescue of their daughter a miracle.
You're watching San Diego's breaking news leader. This is News 8 at 11.
Tonight, a local family is breaking their silence about a major rollover crash last month, calling their survival and the rescue of their young daughter a miracle.
Neighbors rushed to pull an SUV off the little girl after they were hit by a car full of teenagers in San Carlos. News 8's Richard Allen is here now with their injuries and their amazing recovery. Richard?
Well, that's right. Spring Valley resident Leroy Barrett and 3 of his kids were driving home from his son's basketball game when their SUV was hit, rolling over 3 times. Now, tonight, they are continuing to recover and say this entire ordeal has made them stronger.
The way that all of us are sitting here, as healthy as we are, there's no other way to explain it beside a miracle.
A miracle that Leroy Barrett and 3 of his children, 7-year-old London, 10-year-old Armani, and 11-year-old Armone, survived this horrific January 24th crash on Jackson Drive and Lake Baden Road in San Carlos.
It did scare me. It makes you think about life and what's important. And I'm very grateful that God spared my family.
Police say this Dodge Charger filled with teenagers crashed into the Barrett's SUV, which rolled over 3 times.
And if it wasn't for God keeping us, if it wasn't for God plucking us from that incident, we wouldn't be here. I mean, it's really that simple.
The impact ejected London and Armani, who weren't wearing seatbelts in the back seat. The SUV then landed on top of the 60-pound little girl, who was rescued by neighbors.
When they lifted the car off of her and they pulled her out, she was praying. She was praying.
Emergency workers had to use jaws of life to free Leroy, who was also pinned under the vehicle, his hand crushed and 17 ribs cracked.
Every last one of these fingers was broken.
Nearly 1 month later, the family says it's healing and emotionally and spiritually are stronger than before.
Physically, we've got some challenges. You know, that vehicle that we had was the only one that was working.
The family says it's immensely grateful to the community, from their church to the selfless strangers who saved their daughter, and is also thinking of the other victims.
And we have been continually praying for the kids in that other car and their families as well.
So we have no animosity whatsoever. No regrets or any of that.
And following the crash, the teenage driver of the Dodge Charger was not arrested, and at this point, no charges have been filed. In the meantime, both Leroy and his daughter London are facing even more surgery, and the family's medical bills are mounting. Carlo?
Richard, and on that note, a fund for the Barretts has been set up through the family's church, Mission Valley Christian Fellowship. If you'd like to help, go to CBS8.com and click on the Hot button.